This video is for the gentleman who messaged me on YouTube asking me about the Dualtron Victor and why his front motor does not turn on. So there's two reasons why your motor won't turn on your scooter. The switch itself on the handlebars could be bad, or the cables down here. You see these cables, right? Look at the bottom of the stem. You see this cable right here, and then the one on the other side. Sometimes you have to push on these cables. You have to pull. Don't pull hard, just a little bit. There's a short in the wire is what happens with my Victor. There's some sort of a short. So you have to touch the wires and play around with them, wiggle them, move it, push it forward, push it back, press your hand against it, maybe pull the stem, pull the wire away from the stem, pull it down, and hit the throttle, press the dual motor button all at the same time constantly, because what you're trying to do is you're looking for a short in the wiring for the scooter. So my scooter, the short is somewhere in this bend. You see this little bend right here on the cable, and there's this bend on this side. Over time, because there's a lot of energy that goes through these cables, every time you turn it on, every time you ride it, every time you ride it, every time you ride it, I think the cables have gotten a little bit weak, and so you have to now play around with them by touching and touching and touching to give the connection, to get the electrical connection back. So try doing that. Play around with this cable and this cable. All you got to do is touch it with your hand, move it around, wiggle it, and hit the throttle, and then hit the button to see if it activates the front motor. This can take a while sometimes. Maybe you want to put the scooter on something that keeps the wheels in the air, so the scooter isn't always trying to go forward because the wheels are on the ground. So try to find something that you can put the scooter on. If it could be a jack stand, if it could be a motorcycle stand, try to have something like that to put the scooter on, so that you can do this test and the scooter isn't on the ground trying to always take off and leave. And once you find the short, leave it. What I ended up doing, and what I think happens is, I think every time you fold the scooter, it compromises the wiring. So once I find that sweet spot and that front motor turns on, you always remember that the button was pressed to turn it on. Sometimes when you're riding, you might want to turn the front motor off because you don't need the full power. Always remember when you press it to turn it off, and always remember when you park your scooter at the end of the ride, always make sure that button is set to on. That way you know that if you start to ride the next time, if you turn your scooter off, you charge it, and then 2 days later you go to ride it and that front motor doesn't turn on, you know that the button is on and you need to mess around with these wires on the bottom. So I will show you the actual video and show you what I am doing when I do it, but use this video as a guidance for now, and let me know if you get any results. But if this really doesn't work, if you're playing around with this for an hour and the cables, messing around with the cables here on the stem, if it doesn't work, then you might have a bad switch on the handlebars. On the top, you might have to change out the button for turning the motor from dual motor to single motor.